Hey team, good morning Steve, T-Rex. How did everyone sleep last night? 1, 2, 3. I did not sleep that good. It's 7 o'clock, temperature's about 25 degrees, and look at this. A little tiniest coating of snow fell last night from that cloud over there. And there's our moon over here. Shall we go measure the snow? Steve, can you leave some prints? I know I keep calling the animal tracks prints, and I know that gets on people's nerves. Sorry about that. All right, ready? We're going to measure the snow. T. It's called T for a trace of snow in the bucket. But it was more serious on Cape Cod, almost an inch. Coating to an inch actually worked out. We talk about coating to an inch quite often lately. It seems like every time we do, we get more than that. But it worked last night. Nantucket, it looked like we got about an inch of snow. And I thought it was done. But Darius, right before sunrise there in Eastham at Coast Guard Station, where I spent 5th grade for 5 nights and learned all about weather in 1975, still snowing on Cape Cod. So a coating to an inch did work out last night. And it was a very weak low pressure system. All right, so we've got some fresh tracks right here. Looks like a pretty small critter. Is that a bunny? Usually want to see that foreprint for the bunny. But there'll be plenty more opportunity to track. So one of the reasons I couldn't sleep very well last night, because thinking about this project, our environment is changing dramatically right here. And after having, 6 years of just flourishing birds in here. See all the birds? This is what's bothering me, is these birds are being displaced because we're clear cutting all of this. So, when you eradicate something, something else moves in. So I don't know how it's going to work. There's certainly plenty of trees up the hill from here. And there the crew's starting their day. He's greasing up his arm there. Greasing up his arm. I used to work in heavy equipment, and you had to start your day greasing and oiling and fueling and all that. All right, so the forecast, let's get to it. I got to get to the airport this morning. So day 17 in a row, New England snow, and we're going to make 18, 19, and 20. And let's go with this next system. It's a low-pressure system coming in from, actually, there's dual lows. One's going to go to our north, another one's going to go to our south tomorrow. So if we go to the HRRR, we can time it out. A little meso low to our east this morning. Looks like it might have been snowing on the New Hampshire seacoast and Cape Ann first thing this morning, but that moves out. And then it's tomorrow, just about 3 o'clock or so in the afternoon. Blue is snow, green is rain, western New England. It is going to warm up. Southeasterly winds tomorrow are going to get quite gusty. It's going to be in the 40s in southeastern New England, but 30s north, and a few inches of snow for the ski areas. More windy tomorrow, maybe some wind hold issues. Just got tripped by Steve and T-Rex at the same time. So that's system number 1 that's going to go by, and 2 off to our south. And then the floodgates are going to open for that Arctic air. And one of the reasons I took the Canadian, the Euro goes out 360 hours now. So it was the Euro that first showed this big pattern change for us coming in on the 20th. So I liked it, but I only do 10-day forecasts. So once we got to day 10, the only guidance that had this January 20th storm was the Canadian. And that was, 7, 8 days ago? And it hasn't waffled a bit. So it made sense to me to choose the Canadian. It's also the only model that had us having a white Christmas in Boston, which worked out. The snow was on the ground in Boston for more than a week, 8 days. And by the way, this snow on the ground right here, it's close to an inch in a lot of spots, has been on the ground now for 7 days. So I chose the Canadian model. Just before we do that, let's look over there at the Rock Island Cove ice. Ben in Teesbury says 1/3 of an inch of snow last night, and friends are also saying, I hope we don't get ice in the Broads here in the river. And we're not going to in the next 3 days because it's going to get warmer, but next week we may, when that floodgate for the Arctic air opens. But we're not going to be the coldest in New England. Here's the Canadian Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. You see the temperature today around freezing. The sun's getting brighter, and wind's going to pick up from the southwest. And tomorrow, it's going to be windy with a mixed rain and snow shower and temperature around 40. And then on Sunday, it's still fairly mild with temperatures close to 42 or 43 in the morning, but then it gets colder. And by the way, that little bit of rain tomorrow night probably is going to cause iciness on some of the sidewalks and side roads on Sunday morning before the next batch of precipitation comes in. And again, all the guidance has it now. I haven't checked the NAM, but most of the guidance does have a pretty significant winter weather event here. Instead of the 20th, though, it's coming in on the 19th on Sunday. So let's start with the wide view of the Canadian, and I'm going to try and stop it a couple times. See that 988 low pressure system in Western Canada, where the first half of this month we were talking about all the strong high pressure systems. Now we're going to have stronger low pressure systems and stronger high pressure systems. So that 988 low is going to be weakening and crossing Canada from west to east, and that is releasing the hounds, the Arctic hounds. It's an Arctic, first a polar front and then an Arctic front that comes in behind that. So that low is going to weaken and go to our northwest tomorrow. There's another strong storm missing us to the south tomorrow afternoon, and that's sort of a very indicator of what the potential is with these storms going on the perimeter of the cold. And then as fast as that system moves out tomorrow, here comes the Sunday system, and it'll stop at 1 a.m. on Monday. It's a 988 low in the Gulf of Maine. Rain snow line very close to Boston, so that rain snow line is going to be hard to do. I'm not going to be able, well, we are not going to be able to do that until probably right up to the event. Is probably be some rain at Cape Cod and the islands and up toward Boston, but probably ends as snow, and it's going to get very windy and cold. Keep that moving. I got to keep moving here. And then that Arctic high comes in western part of the United States over the Rockies. It's a 1060 something high. And then if we stop it on Tuesday, there's another strong storm in the Gulf of Mexico, and that's going to be coming. Actually, I'm just going to keep this moving. Keep that low going. Have to show the really wide perspective. Freezing rain and ice and snow all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico, just amazing. And there'll probably be a blizzard on the northern end of that snow area, and then that goes off the mid-Atlantic states. Now I'll stop it again on Wednesday. And this is sped up, but the snow for southern New England is back now on the Canadian. This is going back and forth every other day, and I think I'd lean towards this scenario. As you know, we are in a natural boundary here with the Gulf Stream out there and Arctic air over the continent, so these storms want to follow the path of least resistance and most fuel, and that's called the baroclinic zone, warm water and then cold air. So it makes sense that that storm would go between Bermuda and Nantucket and clip southern New England. So if you don't get snow out of your Monday system, you get snow out of your Wednesday, Thursday system. That's what I think I'm going to run with, even though the guidance is all over the place with that. And then after that goes by, it's not quite as cold. I don't know if I mentioned, but Thursday morning, that meteogram had Shrewsbury at 1 below zero. So Thursday morning could be the coldest morning as the barometer builds a little bit here. And then out on day 10 now, we're out to Sunday, January 26th. And it's definitely a warmer pattern. There are no strong cold high pressure systems, but it's very unstable, low barometer cold. Coast to coast Canada is still frigid, and it's a fairly fast, fairly flat jet stream in the United States. And with such cold air having already arrived, there are going to be some ramifications on the backside of the departing Arctic air, which probably goes away for a day or two heading in toward Groundhog Day, but then comes back in February. That's what the long-range guidance is indicating. All right, 8 minutes. So one of the things that kept me up last night, I talked about that, I guess, was the aviary we have right here. So see all those birds playing in the sumac right there? Now these are all invasives. There's a sumac, and there was a big pussy willow there, and they're invasive. So what the town is trying to do is replace the invasive with more native species. So these birds are going to have to find a new place to live and play, and that's kind of what kept me up at night. So we're rearranging the aviary around here by clear cutting all their scrub brush that they love to hide in, and it also protected us from a wind a bit. So yeah, change is hard. They've built a road here, and somebody asked about are they going to build a new beach? No, you don't build a new beach. You make a groin there, and on the side of the groin the beach is built. But where you put hard armor, those rocks and a new cement wall, where you put hard armor along a banking, you save the houses, but you lose the beach. And then there's another beach down around the corner down there that you're all aware of. All right. So it looks like a really pretty Friday, and maybe we'll have some aerials for you flying over the old snowstorm from last week that missed us to the south. And there's going to be more snow and ice also where I am headed. We'll talk to you in 24 hours. 11 a.m. update, Thursday, January 16th.
A lot of progress being made on the new road down below. I thought that machine yesterday was big. This one's like twice as big. Yesterday the Devlin was at 225. Today we got a Cat 374F. You can see the bucket's bigger than people. They're greasing their bucket right now. Claw.
Helping. Original Don Kent wall right here. Swimming pool is right here.
It's interesting that this one's so quiet compared to the yellow one of yesterday. I mean, orange. Cat, yellow, devil on, orange. Size of that thing. Wow. Is that like a 70-foot reach?
And a little update, last 24 hours. When engineers put their mind to it and they have the right equipment, they can build a road fast. That's what's happened down here. They built the road fast into their pool 75 years ago, maybe.
Never a dull moment. It's lunchtime. All right, let's all go in, do some editing, have some lunch, and come back out. We'll regroup again in a couple of hours. A half hour, 45 minutes. Duck. Oh, maybe we'll make a time lapse of a tanker too.
Quiet for a second. It's lunch hour, and we don't need a time lapse of the tanker. We have plenty of those. The construction is overwhelming and more. Yesterday, today, today's tomorrow. By the way, this is warm air advection, gray sky. So that means warmer air coming in aloft, and there's still some low-level cold air left around. You can tell by those cumulus clouds.
So how much snow did we get last night?
Outdoor update from indoor. They're pretty much in the yard now, right down in here. Are they gonna leave the forsythia? I don't know. Where's the edge? What do you smell, Rex? What are you rubbing yourself in down there? Rex playing in the snow.
Trying to recognize your own neighborhood now. Stuff you haven't seen here in decades. Now, I haven't lived here for decades. I've only been here since 2016, late 2016. But this is what the hill would look like, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 years ago.
Where all this stuff grew in.
This guy's tough. Back of his helmet says FCK-FEAR. Love it. Here comes what looked so big yesterday. D225, small compared to that cat that they had before. So a road has been built, and they're now clearing just below the forsythia. Divide between these two houses right here. There are the birds. Birds are enjoying this too. And there's a T-Rex down there. Hey, T-Rex. There's our balls. Should I go get them? Otherwise they're gonna end up in the trash. I'm gonna go get those balls, Rex. T-Rex. What do you see? It's not the first time you've seen me down here. I'm not exactly dressed for it. And I get all this kudzu. I'm going for those balls. You keep an eye on things, okay, T-Rex? Doug, what do you think they're gonna do with this Mercury engine? Think they're gonna try and fire it up? Are those your shoes right there? What that green netting? Think Roger wants that back? Hey guys. I don't know what they're all looking at. They found something over there. And funny how the balls that go over land in the same spot. Huh, Rex? Where'd Rex go? Anyhow, I salvaged the balls. These will be played again. He likes kicking them around. T-Rex, get that ball. Oh my God, he threw it back. Don't go any further. It just rolled back. Try it again. Throw it farther. See if that one comes back. This hill drive you nuts. I can hear him over there. You gotta get kind of crazy. It's like war with the vines and perkers. And a different view of the flagpole for you. Yeah, I rigged it up and I've had this ladder for stability down here for some time. I think I gotta pull the ladder or lose it. Hey, where are you going with all that? Do the dumb stuff. 3 o'clock. They're sound in retreat for the day. 7 to 3. At least it's not windy today. You guys are serious hard workers. The ladder and the balls procured. T-Rex abandoned me. All right, time for a time lapse of the day. Got a quick edit and flying through those clouds. Out a different door tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Duck just popped up. See you tomorrow.